Hey guys, what's up? It's the Attacker coming at you from the Snowpocalypse, Texas 2021. That's right. I mean, unfortunately, there's not going to be any streams this week just because my power's been kind of going in and out and I have no water. I'm literally like trying to survive off of bottles of water here for drinking, and yeah, I'm starting to run low on supply, but I get paid tomorrow, so we'll see if we can go find some, but I highly doubt it because I don't think anybody's gotten trucks coming in to replace those items. But anyway, I'm just going to keep on going. So we finally got a full-on Nintendo Direct today, and it's freaking awesome, fantastic. It feels good. I mean, for me, this was kind of like going to be the joyous event that was going to happen, because like during all this freaking time, or literally have no power for day one. This is day 3. We've had rolling power day 2 and day 3, and we've had no water that entire time. So 3 days no water. I kind of starting to smell a little funky, but you know, kind of want to take a bath, kind of want to brush my teeth. And yeah, it's kind of hard to do that without running water, and you know, I don't want to use my drinking water to, you know, for something like hygiene, but you know, still got mouthwash and all that stuff, so yeah, whatever. But anyway, enough of my personal issues. Let's actually talk about the video games and whatnot. So of course, due to the sake of time, I'm going to kind of limit it to just mostly the first party stuff. I mean, we'll throw some honorable mentions in there, but we're just going to keep it mostly first party, just because like I said, power's spotty, I won't have the lights all the time, and I won't have internet all the time, and you know, luckily I'm kind of editing on my laptop, so that will definitely give me at least some battery usage every now and then, so that way I can at least finish the vid. But like uploading, it's going to be hard, and of course, I'm sure as you've guessed, I'm not going to have internet for pretty much the rest, or like reliable power internet for the rest of the week, so I probably won't stream at all this week. Everything's saying next week everything should be back to normal, let's hope, and all that good stuff, because yeah, this is kind of crazy and BS. But anyway, let's go ahead and talk about those things. So this one actually surprised me, I'm not going to lie. I mean, Xenoblade Chronicles 2 came out in 2017, so that's almost like a 4-year difference. So, I mean, don't get me wrong, I definitely think more first-party Nintendo deserve a spot, especially Pyra and Mithra. I think those girls are definitely like well represented in the anime community. I do see them cosplayed a lot at conventions. I do see them, you know, like, you know, their figures being very expensive and very detailed, and of course Nintendo's definitely showing off the shape there. They were giving that fan service, because yes, I mean, you know, they're the Nintendo's thick waifu. Pyra and Mithra are definitely like, you know, the lovely ladies that are quite shapely. But anyway, off that point, I definitely see Pyra being a lot more like, she's kind of like, she hits hard, but she's also kind of like, you know, like she's a little sluggish, a little slow, but I definitely think she hits very hard. I mean, but I think that's why Mithra is kind of like her secondary, her other character, because she's someone who, she seems to like, hits aren't as hard, but they still seem and feel like very powerful based on what I've seen so far in the gameplay. But at the same time, she's definitely quicker, pulls out her attack faster. Looks like she has some kind of like dodge. I don't know if it's a counter or what, but like I'm seeing her like appear behind people. And of course, Nintendo's got to show off her figure as well, because they're the thick waifus of Nintendo besides Samus and Bayonetta. So I mean, of course, love them babies. But I was surprised, because I thought that these next few fighters for the DLC were going to be actually third-party characters. I figured since this game already had its time in the spotlight, it's pretty much older, its DLC's kind of come and gone, that I didn't think it'd make a lot of marketing sense to put these two in there. But I mean, Nintendo does what you don't expect, so I'm definitely excited to see how they play. Like I said, I definitely feel like they're very sword character-ish. Their swipes feel very reminiscent to, yes, the Fire Emblem characters, and we got more sword users, but they're sword waifus, so it's okay. I mean, I didn't have a lot of time with Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I didn't actually play the game fully. I got pretty far. I want to say like 25 hours into it, but I still need a heck of a lot more playtime. But I need to play Xenoblade Chronicles 1. As I got both games on the Switch, I definitely need to take the time to actually play both games. But my JRPG backlog is massive. It takes forever to play JRPGs, though I love them. It's not, unfortunately, something I can do all the time, which I wish I could. But hey, if you want to make me a full-time content creator, please do so that way I can. But of course, this part of the story was already spoiled for me, that the Xenoblade Chronicles 2 crew actually met Shulk in the DLC, and they also met Elma, who's actually in Xenoblade Chronicles X. So that part was kind of sadly already spoiled for me, but I am interested in how those two met, and now that they're back again, and so on and so forth. So overall, I think it's a good decision. I like it. I feel like they're important characters to Nintendo. Surprised it wasn't third party, but hey, no complaints for more first party Nintendo waifus being in Smash Brothers. But anyway, let's go on to the next game. The Mario Kart. See, you can already see what I want. Mario Golf. I think it was Super Rush. Oh, hold on, the title's about. Yeah, Super Rush. Mario Golf Super Rush. This is not a game I'm going to get personally. It's not one I liked. I never really got any like the Mario sports spin-offs. Like I didn't play Mario Tennis. Didn't play the basketball games, the Sonic and the Olympic games. I didn't really care for any of those games. I had no desire to play them, and I still don't. I mean, I kind of stuck with core Mario. I think as far as I've recently gotten spin-offs, which was just last year, is when I played Thousand Year Door and Origami King, which I enjoyed both games. I definitely feel like the core Mario franchise is better, personally, based off my preferences and play. But I mean, I know this game's definitely going to make a lot more people happy. I know some people are already showing excitement about it. Not as much as I thought I would see, but I do see like a little like here and there. I mean, Splatoon's kind of all full of Splatoon. Twitter's all full of Splatoon stuff right now, it seems. And of course, Smash characters. I'm seeing a lot of fan art for Pyra and Mithra, and of course the new Inkling design. So I mean, this rush mode definitely does look pretty fun. I mean, you got power-ups, I'm seeing people using, superstars and seeing them use, like I saw Luigi just doing that ice skating thing. I think that'll definitely add a lot more fun and, like, I guess you could say uniqueness to this. Like, there you go, Princess Peach is kind of like doing her, like, ballerina pirouettes and whatnot. I mean, I think, like, that part will definitely add a lot more fun and making it a little bit more fast-paced and competitive in the multiplayer. And I think that's great. And, of course, there's the Mii integration, which you don't see a lot of recently. I mean, you did see that Miitopia game coming out, or I think it was Miitopia. Let me go ahead and throw some footage on there. But yes, we do got Miitopia coming out soon. So I'm seeing Nintendo kind of trying to bring back like the Miitopia stuff, or just the Mii stuff, even though there's no Miiverse or anything like that. I mean, mostly they were just used for profiles anyway. So to see them coming back is pretty interesting. And also Mario Golf comes out June 25th. So I mean, that's still some ways away. I mean, not too far after that. We have another game coming out. I think it's like a month later. I know it's July, but I'll go ahead and talk about that in a bit. But yeah, I mean, Mario Golf, congrats to those who are happy about it. Unfortunately, I'm not. Rush mode does look interesting. I mean, if this game ends up somehow, some way coming my way, then I'll probably play it. But yeah, next game we'll get into the Legend of Zelda stuff. Like I said, we're keeping it mostly first party. First thing they announced was Hyrule Warriors was getting a expansion pass for like $20. But if I remember correctly, most of the items were cosmetic. You get a few new missions, but it doesn't seem like there's a lot of story mode. But who knows? They may change. They may like, oh yeah, surprise. But I think there's like new skins, new weapons, new characters. I mean, I'm guessing the siblings, the Science siblings, are gonna go in and excuse me, sorry, be part of the game. But I mean, not too much that would get me interested. I don't know why I'm like holding off on playing that game. I'm kind of just holding out for more Breath of the Wild 2 news. So we'll see what that happens. But in the meantime, while we wait for Breath of the Wild 2, we did get Skyward Sword HD announced. I mean, and to be honest, it looks pretty good. I mean, the HDness looks great. I mean, if you don't have your settings set to 60 frames per second, do so, because the game is in a trailer at 60 frames per second, so it definitely runs a lot smoother and looks a lot better than what it did on the Wii, because the Wii it did run at like 30 FPS. So seeing it running 60 and in HD is definitely a nice change of pace. I mean, I'll definitely give credit there where credit's due. So I mean, I definitely think Nintendo put a decent amount of work. I am slightly disappointed that it's only that one game we're getting for $60. I mean, I feel like they could have easily ported over, what was it called, Twilight Princess over, because that was definitely playable without the gamepad, and they could have definitely ported over Wind Waker. I mean, that already had a non-touchpad mode, so I think they definitely could have done it, but I'm not sure why they didn't give us 3 games for the price of one like they did for the Mario franchise, because, they also HD'd Galaxy, and it also ran at 60 FPS, and it looked great, but we also got 2 other games, one of them being Super Mario Sunshine, that we never saw another official release digitally or physically until that, that HD collection. And of course, it definitely plays the same from the Wii. I mean, it looks like they're still use the Joy-Con as the motion. I mean, the Wii Motion Plus was just, a Wii mode with the gyro attachment or gyro inside. So, I mean, I feel like it makes sense that it would also work for Skyward Sword as well. I didn't think the transition would be that hard. And of course, they did talk about a button mode for like Switch Lite owners, and if you want to play it on the go, which I guess that is indeed, again, a big selling point. It's a portable Skyward Sword on the go. And instead of like using your motion controls, you use one of the thumbsticks. I think it's the right thumbstick to control which direction your sword's going. So that sounds a lot nice. I mean, since I got so used to playing with motion controls, that's probably how I'll play it again. But I think that definitely gives a nice offer to those who don't want to play this game with motion controls. I definitely feel like it expands the audience. I mean, is it worth $60 for portability and for only one HD remake game? My answer is kind of no. But the Joy-Cons look really cool. I do want those Joy-Cons, not gonna lie. I'm a huge Legend of Zelda fan. So I mean, that's literally like my second favorite franchise to ever exist. So I do want those Joy-Cons since they're modeled after the Master Sword and Hyrulean Shield. But I mean, other than that, will I get the game? The answer is probably yes. I do want to see Skyward Sword at 60 FPS. I do want to see the HD graphical upgrade, but I mean, I'm a Legend of Zelda Nintendo fan, so I mean, it's gonna kind of happen. But I also did play this game and stream it, and once again, they HD remade it. So I think it's time that I stream Metroid Prime, because I feel like that's the only way Nintendo will ever get that out to us if I actually stream that game. So after I finish this Throwback Thursday with Kirby, and whenever this power comes back on and actually stream again, I'll go ahead and play Metroid Prime after the Kirby 64. But I mean, like I said, this a little underwhelming. Again, I know people are going to be kind of excited for it, but I don't know. I feel a little bit disappointed since we got 3 games with the Mario 35th anniversary, and we might get Breath of the Wild 2 by the end of the year. Who knows? I mean, maybe they're just waiting till like after this game comes out, and then, I mean, look, after Mario came out, bam, we got a Direct. I mean, who's to say that after, their big titles come out in June, we won't get more news? I mean, I'm definitely excited about that. We'll see what Legend of Zelda 35th anniversary stuff has in store for us. I feel like there's more coming than we know of. I mean, hopefully Breath of the Wild 2 comes out this year, but it may not. But we'll see. But okay, now let's go ahead and talk about the stuff that like got me super hyped. The thing that just was like, this made the Direct for me. Everything else to me so far was kind of underwhelming, but this right here, I mean, Splatoon 3, the fact that we're getting 2 Splatoon entries in the life cycle of the Switch is freaking awesome. I mean, I'm actually pretty surprised that they made a third one, because the Wii U only had Splatoon 1. So the Wii U had Splatoon 1, Wii 2 had Splatoon 2. There was a 2-year gap between the 2 games. So I'm hoping this one has a lot more content or has a lot more to it. I mean, it definitely looks like you have more hair designs. I mean, you got a bow and arrow, you got a Salmanoid as a buddy, but I'm guessing that's for like single player stuff. That's what my guess is. Of course, there's always like, well, is he important in multiplayer modes? What multiplayer modes do we have? Are we getting new ones? Are we getting new maps? Are we getting old maps? What's up with this city? That left one looks more like the Eiffel Tower more than it does Inkopolis Tower. So, I mean, I'm just like, okay, well, what's going on? To me, this looks like a new region. Like, this looks like an entirely new area. I mean, like, you can kind of see the city in the background, like over the sand dunes in the middle left corner. The train's coming up, and it looks like it has Octo expansion stickers on it. And, of course, when you're in the train ride, it sounds like it's playing one of the Octo expansion levels. So my guess, thoughts, and theories are that it's happening around the same time as Splatoon 2. It's just in a different area, in a different region. I mean, because you still got a city back there, you still got like a metropolis kind of thing, you still have like technology, you still got, working public transportation. So I have a lot of questions. Obviously, I'm interested in the story, what's going on, what's happening. Obviously, we still have civilization, you still got airplanes flying around, everything looks, pretty normal. I mean, I feel like this looks a little bit more like Koreanish, like the architecture is more Korean style. So I am curious, like, if they did it on purpose, because, you know, Splatoon 1 and 2 definitely looked very Japanish. And what is really interesting is the multiplayer battles are, of course, all in the desert. I'm not sure why. I mean, I feel like it's a little plain, it's a little bland, but, you know, this launcher thing looks pretty cool. I mean, of course, that might be only one map. There might be multiple maps. Like, and this is just one geographical region. But, I mean, of course, I'm seeing, like, the Inkzuka. I'm seeing, you know, new blasters, new splatter shot design, obviously new hairstyles. I don't know if that's a power-up or if that's a stage hazard. Like, again, Inkzuka. So there's a whole bunch of questions, like, what's going on? What's the story? Like, so much. But anyway, guys, that was the hypest part for me, Splatoon 3. But we'll go ahead and wrap this stuff up later. Hopefully they'll announce more later, at a later time, later date. And let's go ahead and get with that outro, because this video is pretty much done. Alright, so that's how I definitely feel about, you know, all of that. I mean, there were some disappointments. I'm not gonna lie. I think my biggest disappointment was there was no Metroid Prime news of any kind. I mean, this is also Metroid's 35th anniversary as well. I was hoping for at least, hey, you know, Metroid Prime Trilogy HD Collection 2022. Would have been okay with that, because there was a lot of game announcements for 2022. So, I mean, I felt like that would have been fine, at least for me. I just wanted something. You didn't have to even say Metroid Prime 4. I noticed a lot of people online were upset about no Super Mario Odyssey 2. I wasn't expecting that, so I don't really feel any like disappointment towards that. I mean, spoiler alert, I've been kind of like playing Bowser's Fury offline just to see what it's like, just to see how it plays. I mean, I was definitely curious. Unfortunately, I can't stream, and I just bought this new Mario game, and I'm very passionate about Nintendo. And of course, it's like, I want to play some of it. So I went ahead and messed around with it. Didn't get too far into it, and it's great. It's fantastic. I definitely feel like it feels... I mean, I know it's not that big. The content is like, you know, everybody's saying, oh yeah, I beat it in 6 to 8 hours. And some people are like, yeah, well, I speedran it and didn't collect everything and beat it sooner. So I was just like, yeah, well, you know, I know me. I'm going to take my time, get all the things. I think there's 120 cat shines, if I remember correctly. So I'm definitely going to take the time to find all of them before I beat the game, because I just feel like I owe that amount of time towards, you know, that amount of work that went in, because I'm loving it. I really like it a lot. I got other games I can play, so I'm just kind of playing those off stream. I'm playing like Control on PC. I'll go visit Deep Rock Galactica, but unfortunately, you know, power cuts out a lot, so I can't do anything too crazy. But let's see what else. Oh yeah. You know, I already kind of like expressed my thoughts about the Wind Waker. See, Skyward Sword HD. I mean, I definitely liked in the Mario game how, like in Mario's case, we got like a triple pack. I was kind of thinking we should have gotten one for Legend of Zelda as well. The fact that we're just getting Skyward Sword, which was the 25th anniversary's game, is kind of like in HD is like for the full price of $60. I don't know, man. I was like, that seems kind of a lot. So especially since we got like 3 games for Super Mario Brothers, one being Super Mario Sunshine, which we haven't had a physical or digital release since its actual original release. So I just feel like it's, you know, it's whatever. I mean, I'll probably still get it as a, you know, fan of Zelda, because I wouldn't mind seeing Skyward Sword in HD. I'm definitely curious about the motion controls and how they changed them, how the button controls work. I definitely feel like that's something I would like to spend time, and don't mind spending the money to like invest in and check out. But I know other people won't feel the same as me. And of course, they said they're going to bring more news later on about Breath of the Wild 2, which kind of makes me think it's probably... I feel like it's still on the fence on whether Nintendo is sure that it's going to come out this year or not. I would like it to. I don't feel like it would. I feel like it's a little bit too big of an adventure. I know we're all expecting it to come out this year, but, you know, we'll see. Like I said, we'll see. There's really nothing you can say or do about it right now. But anyway, and of course, Splatoon 2. Like I said, or Splatoon 3. See, I play way too much Splatoon 2 that I'm talking about. Splatoon 3. So, I mean, in terms of that, like I said, a whole lot of questions. What's going on in this world? Is this like some apocalyptic other area? Because that looked more like the Eiffel Tower than the Inkopolis Tower. I mean, so I was like, okay, are they like kind of like in the human remains of the world? Obviously, the Salmonoids and the Inklings seem to be cool together. I mean, they still have like a city area. They definitely still seem to be like advanced and everything. I think this is just like a whole nother different area. This is a whole new place. It's not Inkopolis anymore. It's someplace new. And it definitely looks new. It doesn't look like, oh yeah, this is like, 20 years after Splatoon 2 or something. This definitely looks like a new area. And they were playing the one of the level songs on the train ride. They're playing one of the Octo expansion songs, so it has me feeling like all of this is kind of like still going on at the same time as Splatoon 2, just in a totally different area. But that's my theory. But that's literally the only game that got me hype. I mean, I don't play any of the Mario stuff, or like the Mario sports games. I don't play any of those. Mario Kart's probably about as far as I go. I don't play Mario Party. I can't remember the last time I bought a Mario Party. I don't play, the golf, the basketball, the soccer, the Olympics. Like any of those Mario spin-off games, I don't play. So Mario Golf, don't play it. So Mario Tennis, don't play it. I don't care. Like, give me core Mario games. That's all I really care about. Mario Kart's the exception, but that's just because that was kind of like the first of its kind, I guess, back in the day, and that was what I grew up with, and that's just what I couldn't live without or give up. But anyway, guys, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and call that quits. It's kind of like my thoughts on everything. Hopefully the power in the internet will be, I guess you could say, working enough for me to actually get this video out to you the day that the direct came out, so that way I can just be on time like all them other cool YouTubers. But I can't promise you anything. I don't have any power, well, like most of the time. But anyway, guys, I'm glad I was able to at least make something. I was kind of going crazy not being able to stream and not being able to play video games all the time. I mean, like I said, I got my Switch. I have my... luckily I've been having power enough to where I can fully charge it before the next blackout happens. But anyway, now I'm just blabbing on. So guys, have yourselves a great day, night, week, whatever. If you're in Texas, stay warm, stay hydrated, do what you can, skip a meal or two if you don't have that much food. Hopefully everything works out for you. We only got like a few days of this, more to go before it starts warming up and the snow melts and the ice melts, and we can actually start getting some shipments to our grocery stores and like hopefully never have to deal with this again. But I digress. You guys have yourselves a great day, night, week, whatever. Stay warm, stay safe, stay happy. See you next time.